my perspective has changed quite dramatically over even the last couple months. And I sort of look at things this way as someone who very much struggles with anxiety and depression. When I feel very overwhelmed by those things and sort of like I'm being burdened by these things, I like to think of it as if I started out as this celestial being, this just energy, and the universe or God or whomever said, hey, do you want to go to Earth for an incredibly short amount of time, like a blip, and experience every emotion that you could possibly feel as a human? You get to have all these experiences: love, heartache, anxiety, joy, euphoria, whatever, all of it. Do you want to do that? Yeah, I do. And so when I am feeling these intense feelings, it's sort of like a reality check to step outside and say, although this is a very uncomfortable, painful feeling, it's quite beautiful that I have the capacity to experience it. Just in general, like I am so lucky to feel to the extent that I feel and to feel as deeply as I feel, because it can often feel like a curse when you're having heartache. And, you know, when you're experiencing love, it's absolutely euphoric. And then when it's the opposite, it's a curse. And so understanding that both of those exist in the same timeline and in the same life, and that is sort of something that I use to ground myself when I am stuck in a feeling of darkness.
That is probably the best description of that I've heard before. The idea of, if we were given the choice to have this diverse set of emotions, experiences, feelings, and what you rightly said was that if you're experiencing loss, it means you've experienced love.
Yeah.
And if you've experienced pain, it means you've experienced joy.
Yeah.
It actually means that you've had the fortune of receiving a glimpse of greatness.
Yeah.
And I lost my mentor to stage 4 brain cancer. And I lost him a few years before that because of how brain cancer works, in the sense that he wasn't
mentally
there, even though he was spiritually there.
Yeah.
And what I always referred to him as, which I found fascinating, was, so when someone has stage 4 brain cancer, obviously they start to lose aspects of their memory, they start to lose aspects of identity, and his memory became so short. He had long-term memory, he lost his short-term memory. So if he'd see me, he'd be like, hey Jay, how's it going? And then 30 seconds later, he'd be like, hey Jay, how's it going? As if he'd just seen me. So he'd still know I'm Jay, and he'd still remember our relationship for many, many years. But in the moment, you couldn't have attention. But what I found fascinating was that all he did was thank people for their service to God.
Oh, wow.
So all he'd do if he saw you, and he was a community leader, he was a priest in his own right, and if he saw you, he'd be like, thank you for what you're doing for others. Thank you for your service.
Wow.
And I was like, how special was that? That was his broken loop, was gratitude.
That's the most wholesome thing I've ever heard.
Literally. And to experience that was just unbelievable. And it's what you're saying, that yes, I miss him. And yes, of course, I wish he was there. I feel like calling him up every day to tell him what I'm doing and different things that happen in my life. But the fact that I can experience that I miss someone means that I just had something really special. Yeah. I'm not saying that makes it easy. I'm saying that it reaffirms the point that you're making, that we're fortunate to have both experiences because they only come together.
Yeah.